Well, joining me now is Joe diGenova, legal analyst and former U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. Joe, welcome back. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
So, Joe, Iran's foreign minister is calling the killing of General Soleimani, quote, an act of terror and an act of war. What's your reaction to this?
General Qasem Soleimani was the senior general in the Iranian military and the head of the Quds Force. He is a legitimate military target. He is a known terrorist. He is a designated terrorist. He is the head of the Quds Force, which is a designated terrorist organization under U.S. law. They have been sanctioned by the United Nations. Mr. Soleimani was in Iraq illegally because he is under UN sanctions. He is not permitted to leave Iran, but he did so freely with the consent of the Iraqi government. He was a legitimate military target. He's dead, and that is a very good thing for the world.
Well, Iran has vowed revenge. The Trump administration has said that it's prepared to respond to any attack. So where do we go from here?
Well, that's up to Iran. Iran has its fate in its own hands. If they choose to kill an American diplomat, an American military person, an American citizen anywhere in the world, attacks in the United States, the reaction from the United States will be massive and final. The Iranians know that. They are calculating very carefully what they're going to do next, because by killing Soleimani, we killed the single most important person in the Iranian government and the second in command of the Iranian militias in Iraq was also killed in the same strike. They are hurting very badly now from a military standpoint, both strategically and tactically. This is not a fight they can win. They know that. They'll blather, but I doubt very much if they'll do anything serious, because if they do, the retaliation from this president will be massive.
Joe, on Capitol Hill, lawmakers in the House are expected to vote to limit President Trump's military powers and these tensions with Iran. So what is your take on that? And is this vote a necessary step or just more partisan politics?
Well, it's clear they never did this with President Obama, the Democrats, and they never would have, because they were happy to give him a free hand, in fact, to kill Americans with drones in the Middle East. He's the only president who's ever killed Americans with drones in the Middle East. He took great pride, Obama did, in keeping a kill matrix in the Oval Office. And indeed, in a new book, he's said to claim he's very good at killing, said President Obama. The action by the House Democrats is, quite frankly, nothing more than a political act. They cannot limit the president's power under Article 2. He was fully within his rights to act under existing legislation in the Constitution. So this is just a political gesture.
Okay, Joe. And at the same time, you know, we're still waiting for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to deliver the articles of impeachment to the Senate.
Yes.
What's your take on that?
It's a very bad case which the House Democrats have put together, so they're embarrassed to deliver it to the Senate, and now they're arguing to try and get more witnesses, which they had the legal authority to do when they were bringing their case in the House, but chose not to because, as they told us, it was really important to remove President Trump as quickly as possible. They voted, they got impeachment, and then they did nothing. So apparently their argument that it was important to remove him was just a big political joke.
Joe, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Delighted to be with you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, too.